Hey everyone, Jeff here from Films at Home. Thanks for coming back to the channel today for this 4K review. In today's video, we're diving into the world of Morbius with this new 4K Ultra HD Blu-ray release of the movie from Sony Pictures Home Entertainment. So we'll be talking about the movie itself a little bit. I'm going to cover all the visual quality, the audio quality, we'll talk packaging and special features, and then I'll give you a recommendation on whether or not this one's worth picking up for your collection. If you want more 4K reviews, more movie collecting content, or just love movies in general, please consider subscribing to the channel. Help us hit our goal of 100,000. I'd really appreciate that. And now let's get right into the review. So Morbius is pretty notorious right now online because it has been widely panned as one of the worst comic book movies ever made. It has become sort of a meme in and of itself. This is the only time I'll say this, but It's Morbin Time has become a huge internet meme, so much so that Sony thought that people would be interested in going to see it in theaters again, and they re-released it so that it could bomb a second time.
Mission failed. We'll get them next time.
Kind of embarrassing for Sony to do that, but ultimately, is the movie that bad is sort of what I was looking for when I watched this. And I don't think it's that bad. I don't think it's Catwoman levels bad. I don't think it's Fantastic Four reboot levels bad. I don't think it's that bad, but it's certainly the weakest movie that Sony's put out from a comic book world. It's pretty lower tier when it comes to comic book movies. But honestly, it's not terrible. It would fit somewhere in like the lower third if you ranked it within all the Marvel movies. I don't love Jared Leto in any role. I just don't like him as a person, really, with his kind of cult stuff that he does, and he's been accused of some things, and I'm not going to dive into that. I don't really love Jared Leto, so I hate that he keeps getting major roles like this, especially because he butchered the Joker, and now he's not done a great job with Morbius. I think it's time to maybe let him go, let him do other things, but for some reason they keep bringing him back into these big franchise movies, and he always seems to fail. So overall, is Morbius a movie that I'm going to be coming back to time and time again to watch? No, probably not, but I certainly don't think it's as unwatchable as people thought it was. It does actually have some fun action moments, and the Morbius transformation is cool. I mean, it's a cool character. They just kind of fumbled the bag with this movie and didn't do the best job that I think they could have done. Now, visually, Morbius is actually stunning on 4K. It has a 6.5K and 8K source shot with the newest digital cameras, and so when you downscale that to 4K, it looks tremendous. This is a great looking disc. Highlights are amazing, black levels are great, contrast is great, colors are awesome with the HDR color grading. You get both HDR10 and Dolby Vision on this release, and in typical Sony fashion, I think they've done a very good job with this 4K transfer. I still consider Sony Home Entertainment to be one of the better studios out there when it comes to their big catalog releases and back catalog releases, so I like what they did with Morbius. There's absolutely no complaints here when it comes to the visuals. It does have some darker moments, which clearly 4K is going to help handle better than a Blu-ray or with streaming, and I do think that if you want to watch this movie and you didn't see it in theaters, the 4K is the best way to do it. Now, can you justify spending $25 or $30 on the 4K release versus maybe renting it on like an Apple TV and getting a pretty good stream? That's going to be up to you guys, but if you do buy the 4K disc, you will not be disappointed at all. The 4K visuals are excellent, and it's one of the better looking 4K discs that I've seen recently. Now, Morbius also comes with Dolby Atmos, and this one packs a pretty good punch. There's some good low frequency, but there's also a ton of object-based effects throughout your home theater. Obviously, there's like bats flying overhead, there's a lot of action scenes, there's a lot of fighting, there's a lot of these moments which a larger soundscape and a Dolby Atmos track, lend itself very well to. And so I enjoyed the Atmos. I thought it was a really well done track. Dialogue was super clear, which is always one thing I look for. Do I have to balance my volume between, the action scenes and the dialogue driven scenes? No, well balanced, well mixed. Sony did a really good job. So from an AV perspective, this is a great disc all around. I mean, a 4.5, if not a 5 out of 5. It's damn near perfect, which is unfortunate because the movie is not. Now, the packaging is one crazy thing that I found to be surprising because I've got just the standard 4K slipcover here, but it's a lenticular slipcover. Typically, you'd have to go and get like a Target or Best Buy exclusive or pay extra money for that. That's standard on the 4K. So I love that they enhanced the packaging. I do love the way this looks. There is a steelbook version as well. Didn't love that. It's like a pop art steelbook. You can only get it at Best Buy. Wasn't a fan of the artwork. If you guys want to grab that, you can, but I'm really a huge fan of this 4K slipcover. The lenticular is really cool, going from Dr. Morbius into Morbius, the vampire. Now on the inside you get the same artwork pretty much, just without the lenticular, and then the discs both have disc art 4K and Blu-ray. Also comes with a digital code which will redeem in 4K. So for special features, actually sort of surprising given that this was pretty much a box office bomb and a big loss for Sony. There's some good special features on here. There are outtakes and bloopers. There are multiple featurettes on Morbius, the character, the anti-hero, the supporting cast, the stunt work in this movie. There's some Easter eggs. There's a human to vampire featurette which talks about that transformation, and there are visual effects behind the scenes as well. So I really do think it's a pretty good package on 4K. It's got really good visuals, it's got great audio, it's got a cool package that you really can't beat with a standard release, and those special features. So if you did like Morbius and you think this is one you'd rewatch and you want to add to your collection, or you're just a completist and you want to make sure that you have all of the Marvel stuff, the 4K disc is a pretty good way to go. They did a good job and you won't have any complaints with the way this looks or sounds, although you may have complaints with the movie itself. The one thing I did want to mention, because I forgot to mention this and when talking about the visuals, was that some of the CGI is a little rough around the edges. Didn't take me out of the picture, but CGI is usually sampled at a lower resolution, and since this was shot at such a high resolution, you do have a couple of moments where it's like, that CGI was iffy. I got over it. I didn't really notice it that bad. It's not like Black Widow CGI bad. It's not like early 90s CGI bad. But because it's such a high source they filmed on, there's some iffy moments, but really it didn't distract me, and I would recommend this overall. If you do want to pick it up, I'll leave a link to Amazon in the description where you can grab Morbius on 4K. As long as you're getting it within the next couple of weeks, it should have this slipcover. That's usually a first pressing thing, so once they're out, they're out. But if you buy it from Amazon, you should get it, or check out your Best Buy, Target, wherever you get your movies, and see if you can find a copy on the shelf, although that's getting more rare by the day. So that's it for the review. Thanks for coming out to watch this. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope this gave you some good information on Morbius on 4K. If you want more like this, make sure you subscribe and have notifications on, and also like this video so others will see it. And if you want to follow me along on social media, all the links are down in the description where you can find me and get in touch with me outside of YouTube, as well as links to all of our partners and supporters of the channel. So if you click through those links and use them, that helps support me and our partners. It's a win-win for everyone in my content. So I appreciate that. Hope you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe and stay healthy out there, and I will talk to you all soon.